Good day everyone, welcome back to my channel. First off, I'd like to say a happy Chinese New Year to all my viewers and to those who are actually new in my channel. Now, I have a question coming from Andre Wilner, and I'd like to actually apologize to you that this took so long. Now, your question is that this power button here on the Lancool 2 itself, there are LEDs over here, can it sync up with the strips that is actually on this casing itself? And on the mesh 2, where you have the aRGB fans that has the effect, can you sync up together with the switch? The answer is no, you can't do that. But there is a way to do it. That is actually to mode the LED on this panel itself. In this video, I will cover the cables that is actually attached on the controller itself and to remove the controller off from the top panel. Let's get into it. A warning to all viewers out there, if you are under 18 and do not know how to execute this mode, kindly do not execute it, and I will not hold any responsibilities if you have messed up this mode. Thank you. Before I proceed to remove off the top panel, which is in fact the controller itself, where all the switches here is functionable, I will talk about the cables that is attached to this controller itself. Now, first off, you will have the 3.0 connector, which you connect to the motherboard that enables the USB port here. Then next will be the audio cable that is supposed to actually react when you plug in your headset over here. This is actually connected to your motherboard. Then for this, right, in fact, it's actually the power switch, which is this, the LEDs that light up on the switch itself, and the reset switch, which is this button here. You will come with two more cables which looks like this. Now, as you know that the mode for the LEDs, you can actually just click these two buttons over here. One is mode, one is actually static colors. Now, if you do not want to actually control through your panel over here, right, you can connect to this to your motherboard, whereby you will bypass the switch over here and let your motherboard control the aRGB effects. And of course, you will need to plug this in order for you to light up all the aRGB strips or aRGB fans, etc. that is actually connected to this controller, where you can control the effects through this switch here. To remove the controller off the top panel itself, before you do anything, make sure you have a protection mat to actually protect the case itself from scratch. Now, first thing you need to do is actually remove off this rubber cover, which is actually meant for the Type-C. If you did have the add-on and to plug it in here, right, then you don't have to worry about this rubber. Else, just remove it. Next thing you will need to know is, in fact, there's this cable here. Not too sure if you can see. This cable here, right, is in fact connected to the front bezel LED strips. So you need to remove this off. And when you're removing this, right, kindly note where you have actually removed from so that you will plug it back where it is when you remove it. So I'm just going to remove it. Done. Then next thing, place your top panel upside down so that you can actually remove off 4 screws over here. 1, 2, and the other side. 3 and 4. So I'm just going to remove off the screws right now. I'll start off with this side and not that side. As you can see, the cables over here, right, is actually through this slot hole itself. So I'll just remove this over here first. And don't lose the screws. Then I'll turn it over. As you can see, right, my case is in fact stripped bare, as in like the tempered glass on both sides and the top hinge and the front bezel. I've actually taken them out for easier access. You might have a fully functional case and you have all the components in. When you're doing that, right, it's much heavier, so do be careful when you are turning things like that, especially your GPU. Take out your GPU before you do this mode. Now I've actually taken out all the 4 screws. Turn the front towards yourself where you can see the controller itself. Now to remove this, right, you will need to actually pull this out. See, I've actually pulled this out. And when you're doing this, take note on this slot here whereby the cables go through. Do not get caught with this connectors here. If it gets caught and you pull it too hard, you might just rip off the connectors. So handle it with care. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm guiding the cables. And at the end, with all these connectors, right, I'll slowly push through the hole. Slowly. This is how it looks like when it's actually removed. The top section here, whereby it has the power switch, the reset switch, and the aRGB remote switch. Now, in order to take this control panel out, you will need to actually remove the 6 screws over here, which I'm going to show you. And while you're removing the screws, right, kindly do not lose these screws. Now, once you have actually removed all the screws, you can gently guide this panel off. And when you're doing so, right, please make sure you leave up this area here and not this. Okay, it's going to take out. This is actually the control panel. And please be careful when you're handling this, because this is not fixed. The reset switch and the power switch. So I would advise you to actually take it out and leave it one side. Now, you don't have to worry about the connection over here, just leave it as they are. Now, all you need to do, right, is actually to mode the LED switch. If you can find this LED that is that small, you can replace it. And to shoulder the points to the aRGB connector. Now, I'm not going to do this because this is too small. I can't find the right fitting. Instead, I will be using either the aRGB strips. I'll just cut them and to place it at the side. Or even better, to actually purchase this. I've actually purchased this. These are the aRGB single leaded with the chip itself. So it does have the direction as in like 5 volts. Then the data in. Over here is data in, over here is data out. Then the last set is ground. So I can actually shoulder them. And there is an additional plug over here which you can see. It's not in use. You can use this. So I'm going to use this. And when you turn over, right, you will see that there's 5 volt, data out, and ground, which will be actually shouldered to this. I'll proceed on with the shouldering and to show you later on the final work. Now I've actually finished the mode itself. Just a gentle reminder, if you do not know what to do or how to do it, please do not execute this mode, as I do not want you to mess up your control unit. Neither do I actually would take responsibilities if you mess it up. But if you're curious and wanted to learn, I do have a tutorial. You can click on the top right hand corner where I will place the link there, and it will show you the basic understanding on how to actually shoulder connect points to the LED, or should I say the aRGB strips, and which is similar to this function here. Now, before you connect to any power source and such, if you have actually done the mode, make sure you have insulated them properly. And another thing to take note is that on this end here, right, where you have all the connectors to connect to your motherboard header, things like the power switch, the reset switch, and the power LED LEDs. Now, you can just connect to the power switch and the reset switch and forego the power LEDs. This, in fact, if you were to power up, right, and you will just pull current, or should I say draw current, and you will lit up the LED surrounding your switch. So if you want it, as what I've done, this is actually a mode, so you don't plug this at all. So when, imagine that your PC is powered up, this is what happened. So it will follow the mode on your panel, as you can see. See, it will follow. I know that you can't see it properly here because the lighting is too bright. This is static color. Or if you want to, right, you can even off it. It's just like how you control the front bezel or the aRGB fans at the front. It's the same, which is connected to this unit. See, this is off. Now I'm going to plug this to my case itself and to show you the overall. I've actually assembled all in this case itself, the top panel, the front bezel, and to connect back the side strips itself. So assuming that this PC is fully loaded with all the PC components, and when you kickstart this PC itself, right, you should be getting this. So it does matches, as you can see, the power LED, it matches the front bezel strips and the side strips. You can actually toggle the effects. See, it will follow. See? Or you can even set it to static colors like this: red, green, blue, and etc. Alright, I hope I've actually answered your question to Andre Wilner. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. And also to thank someone who actually allowed me to use his background music. There is none other than Trinh. Thank you very much. And if you guys are interested to know more about his music, you can actually hop down to his YouTube channel. I'll leave the URL in my description. And for those of you who are actually new and you do like my content, do remember to subscribe and to click on the notification bell button. Till then, take care, goodbye, see ya.